Welcome to Before the Bid, your connection to some of the world's best livestock sales. Stay tuned as your host, Andy Howe, takes you coast to coast, stopping along the way to talk with producers about their operation, their livestock, and of course, their upcoming sales. Let's get to it.
Welcome, livestock friends, to this Before the Bid podcast. And on this one, we are going up to Hudson, Michigan, and we're going to talk about some club calves, and we're going to talk about a club calf sale that is a live sale there at Hudson, Michigan. And we're going to talk to a guy that has had this sale for 19 years. This thing's been going on, and they're going to have 130 live lots here. He's a fifth generation cattleman and fifth generation of owning a slaughterhouse that we're going to talk about just a little bit here. And again, from Hudson, Michigan, I am talking to Josh Kastel, and they are going to have a sale here on Sunday. That's going to be on Sunday, October the 2nd, going to start at 2 p.m. So, Josh, I want to welcome you to the podcast, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I'm good, and, man, appreciate you reaching back out to us and responding to the invite there, and appreciate you helping us get this thing put together.
Yep, I appreciate it.
Well, Josh, you've been around this thing for 19 years. You say in your catalog that that's how long this sale's been going on, or you've been selling cattle for 19 years, right?
Oh, actually a little longer. I was pedaling on some of my mom and dad's barn there when I was a little younger, and it kind of was a little mistake there. I was actually at work at Slaughterhouse, and I put a flyer out saying I was going to have a sale at my mom and dad's house on that Saturday afternoon, and my dad called me up and said, "Hey, are you going to have a sale today?" I'm like, "Well, I put a flyer out." He goes, "Well, there's a whole bunch of people here wanting to look at your calves." Shoot, I didn't even have everything clipped up or nothing. I didn't know anybody was going to even show up. And clipped some up that day, sold all those calves. And I think I ended up keeping one steer for my little brother. And the rest of them all went down the road that day. And I thought, wow, this is a pretty good deal here. So it's been a road. We've learned a lot along the way, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But we've had a lot more good of selling calves and meeting a lot of good people across the country, no doubt.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like you're flying all over the country and things like that, and we'll get into that. But I want to go even a step farther back. How did you even get into the cattle deal and get into being interested in showing and going on with that?
Oh, boy. So, actually, started at the slaughterhouse when I was pretty young, 7, 8 years old there for my great uncle. And he was a big influence on that whole deal. Anyways, he gave me a steer to take to the fair, and way back then, so he made a big deal wanting me to figure out how much it's going to cost to feed that steer all the way to the fair. It cost me $258 to feed that steer all the way, and that included a pair of gloves and a pair of boots too.
Oh, wow.
So, times have definitely changed, but
yeah,
he gave me that steer, and I sold that steer and bought two more for the following year. And those two steers I ended up selling, and then I ended up buying my first heifer, and I ended up buying two heifers with ET calves and a bull on the side from another really good cow guy, Dave Heimerdinger. And he was a big influence on my whole cow addiction here now, I'd say. But anyways, that little deal started out. Now it's bloomed into all this, 20 years later. So
right. We get a lot of those stories, the 4-H project gone rogue.
Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt.
And so now you're up running over 100 and some cows.
Yep, no doubt. I sure wish I had a lot of cows back that I have sent down the road, just with what I know now with, the whole embryo, ET work we can do, and, AAI and cows, there for a while in the beginning. We just try to buy a good bull and put them out with the cows and take those calves to the fair, but now it's totally different.
Right. And so part of what you did, I talked about the slaughterhouse, that you own that now, and so you're running that, and you're running all over the country putting embryos in.
Yep. I've gotten really fortunate of treating people right and eggs sticking, that would be the big thing. People get eggs that stick and word travels, and met some people out there in Nebraska, and actually this spring, got fly out there to Oregon and put some eggs out in that way, and Washington, and then actually put a clinic on out there, a fitting clinic, and judged a show and this and that and everything else. So then I go down to West Virginia and Nebraska and all over the place. So it's a lot of fun, no doubt.
right. Absolutely all over the country on all corners then.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool. While everybody's calling you from the slaughterhouse and saying, hey, we need this or we need that or what do we do about this?
Right. Yeah, pretty much.
And we talked a little earlier. This slaughterhouse thing is, since COVID hit, this thing is crazy.
Oh, it's off the chart. I got to hand it to it. One of my partners there, his name Dave Jordan, but I mean, he puts up with a lot of nonsense for me. I mean, this cow addiction is absolutely out of control, and he gets to hear about all the good and bad too on it. But I mean, at the slaughterhouse, we are absolutely swamped. We're booking out for 2024 already, and I don't think there's no end in sight. I think people got a taste of good beef and pork or whatever, and that's the way they want to buy it now, not from the store. So
Right. I think that's great for a guy like me that doesn't plan ahead very well. You know, you get these steers up about 1,000 or 1,100, and you're like, man, you know, I got 3 people that want this, and I can't get it in anywhere.
oh, I know. I feel bad, and I sometimes get us in trouble because I'm like, oh, what's one more? I'll go in a little early and, cut early, or I'll go in on a Sunday and butcher, so that way we get an extra day to cut meat.
Right.
Sometimes I stretch us a little more than we probably should, but I always want to try to help people, and nothing worse than somebody having, something to butcher and ready to eat it and
Right.
can't get it in anywhere. And that's a problem, I think, across the whole United States really right now. So,
Right. Right. Do you mind me asking, how many can you hold in that place?
I mean, when my great uncle built that, I mean, they built it big.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I'd say you could probably hold in the coolers probably, probably 80 or 100 maybe.
Oh, wow.
But saying that, I mean, we age everything too. So, I
Okay.
mean, we're one of the very few slaughterhouses around anymore that kind of ages beef. So we don't cut nothing before 2 weeks, no matter what. So, I mean,
Okay.
which is kind of unusual now. I mean, everybody's kind of
Right.
hurry up and get it moving,
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, so not terribly many every week then.
No,
Okay.
we're just a mom and pop deal and try to do a good job and quality over and quantity really. So I
Right.
mean, we usually try to do 10 to 12 beef and a handful of hogs.
Okay.
So
Good. Good. Well, that's what everybody's liking, those mom and pop deals as far as this goes. So I think that's awesome. With other things going and the mom and pop things leaving, in this instance, man, this thing is just going crazy.
right.
So I think that's great. I think it's a great thing for the livestock industry, and I think it helps keep us in touch with some of those that are removed from the livestock and the agriculture industry as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Because I'm sure you guys have guys that I don't even really know what a live cow. I've never been close to a live cow, but here's what I want.
Right. That happens a lot more now. I mean, we're getting a lot of people that sell beef close to me, be like Ann Arbor or like Sylvania or Toledo, and so we get some of those people that's never, like you said, never seen a cow. They've just seen a steak,
Right.
in a restaurant and everything, and now they're buying quarters and halves, and got some guys doing some bundles and doing that, and but I think the big thing is just the quality. I think people see the big difference between mass producing and just from the average farmer that's done a good job and fed their beef and done a good job to them.
Right. I think it's awesome. But you've got some cows yourself along with that, and so you're doing that, and you talk about that cow addiction and things. And we've talked a little bit, and for this sale and for you to move these cattle and sell these cattle and be as successful as you have been, you've got a little bit of a different breeding philosophy than some might have.
Oh yeah. I got probably one that's way out there. So that some people say that I like my stuff a little chunkier and a little thicker and with a little bit more bone underneath one.
Right.
And so, yeah, I love steers that way, but I like my heifers that way too. So I've been very fortunate to have some really elite market heifers, and I've virgin flushed those and just gambled on what I think will work on that female and gotten pretty darn lucky over the years. So I got a whole array of market heifers that wouldn't be maybe fit in, like, let's just say like the Griswold program. I mean, Kent Jakey, he kind of jokes about it a little bit, that I am way out in, left field the way I go about this deal, but hey, it's working.
Right.
And then another deal is I love Keller. I mean, it's not a joke. If I'm coming to judge your fair or do this, I mean, I'm a sucker for a painted up Kellered one, and that's a little stouter and with some rib and some shape. But yeah, I don't know if that's a little bit of the slaughterhouse coming out in me that I like to see a little bit of meat on one too.
Right.
But saying that, I mean, I've been thinking about trying to do a little more on the maternal end. So I have, I don't know, maybe 30 cows that I've, used some Angus and some semi stuff this coming year. Gone that route too. But my bread and butters is trying to add color and keep the quality extremely as high as I can possibly make one. So.
Right. There's a lot of this color going around. I mean, 10, 15, I don't know, 20 years ago, whatever it was, they had to be black or they weren't much. And now this color thing is just absolutely taken off.
Oh yeah, no doubt. One of the guys I looked up to for years and years because I was actually Owen Wolf down there in southern Indiana.
Sure.
Started going to his sales and buying some of the cheaper cows at his sale, and he always jokes about it too. There, man, you send some color stuff up to me, and I got a good following that people like a little bit of chrome on their stuff and a little bit of color. But the best part is right now I see is that quality with some of the painted up ones is really, really come on. You look at all the state fair champions this year.
Right.
A lot of them have chrome on them. I mean, and so it's a fun deal,
Right.
no doubt.
Right. And being ahead of that curve because you've always liked it, why, that's a pretty good spot.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right. Right. And you've also got a couple bulls that are really going on and doing quite well for you and selling quite a bit of semen.
Yeah, I've been really fortunate. I've had a lot of people trust what I'm trying to do, and I think the average guys, they like to see a little bit of different color. And so, I mean, with some of those bulls, I mean, what the bull that started the whole craze for me was actually a bull called Mindbender, and I think probably a lot of people have heard about him, but he's out of a really good maternal cow, really, out of a Meyer daughter, Rachel cow.
Right.
And then I got, Jack of Hearts and Cassius King, and got a yellow jacket son named Golden Ticket. Got some sons are Mindbender that do what I think, helped him on some of his, and as like Blue Cower and the Boss. So yeah, I got a new bull I called this coming spring was twice as nice. He was actually a Monopoly son out of a yellow jacket because I've had a good time with those. I mean, actually, one of the best market heifers I probably had the opportunity to get in on was a cow named Fat Tina, and
Right.
she's already kind of paving her way, already. I got a bull out of her, Champ Bull, with some chrome on him.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the steer calf that's on the front cover of my catalog is actually out of that bull, and kind of the best of both worlds there, He's actually our Rachel daughter, and then our that Champ bull. So yeah, kind of mixing maternal and clubby all together, and keeping it all in a sound package and a colorful package too.
Right, right, and it works out quite well. So yeah, and a lot of these cattle in the Kastel Show Cattle and Friends sale, why they're out of your bulls.
Yep, like I said, I've had really good luck with people trusting what I do, and I breed a lot of cows for people and put embryos in for a lot of people, so I do have an influence on them, but I don't want to steer them away. I want to see them do well. I mean, that's kind of how I snowballed this deal. I mean, there's probably about 5 of the consigners that have been with me since I started this deal, because when I started this deal, I actually went around and asked a handful of people if they wanted to be part of my sale, and some of them thought will never fly in Michigan. A live sale will never fly in Michigan. Here we are 19 years later and doing pretty darn good, I'd say.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of those bulls you look through, the first 10, 12 lots are all our bulls that I try to push. And one big thing is I want to prove to people that, hey, these bulls will do what I kind of tell you to,
Right.
Kind of stand behind them,
Right, right. And success out of your program gives them confidence that they can have success with them in their program.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, someone buys a heifer through this sale, I mean, it opens up the opportunity for them to bring one back to me. I always, obviously got to eyeball them up a little bit and see if it makes the quality or, makes the cut or not. But we always try to give people the opportunity that they're, the door's open there. This is not a, shut. We're not going to let anybody else in. We let the average person into this deal and try to help them succeed with their cow program.
And even before they get to bring them back, after they come through this sale or come from you, you're going to also do all that you guys can to take care of these cattle if they go on the show road and things like that.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And I got quite the crew. I got some guys that help me clip up, and we go to all these, the majority of these shows. If we show up to one of the shows or before the county fair, we're going to clip your calf and get it all ready the best we can. And I'll be real honest, we don't charge you. I understand why people do charge, but on the other hand, that's another service that we do to try to, entice you. Hey, you gonna buy a calf from me? We're gonna try to take care of you as much as we possibly can.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when it gets fair season, I'm running around like a wild chicken, man. I'm trying to clip here and clip there, and most people know that if I tell you I'm going to show up on your doorstep, I'll get there, but I don't know what time I'm going to be there. So, but we're going to get your calf clipped, and we're going to. I mean, just this past week, we actually clipped a half a dozen calves because the Hillsdale Fair deer show was actually yesterday, and their feeder calf deal. But it's just finished up clipping the last fair calves, and do I really have time? Probably not, but I made time for them. There's no doubt.
Right, right. Yeah, and you get to burn a lot of the midnight oil there. According to your Facebook page, you're out in the middle of the night setting everything up for this sale.
Yeah, pretty much more. I'm probably burning more midnight oil than majority of the people in the world.
Right, right. Oh, that's good. Yeah, you got the pictures there on your Facebook page, and you setting the pins up or the tin up and things like that, and getting ready for this thing. So.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, we got a big circus tent. I should have probably years ago when I first moved out here, we should have probably just built something, but the tent thing works good and we can tear it down, and everything else. But yeah, we got a big tent and we'll put bleachers underneath there and live auction. Not too many of us around anymore,
Right.
Probably the closest one to here would be Jones's and Weingartner, but they do a little different thing than what I do. And we're about the last few, live auctions around. I guess Frenchie, up there at the Revival, they still run stuff through the sale up there. But there's not too many of us, why? Because it's a lot of work. You got to have a lot of manpower.
Right.
And I'm just very fortunate that I got a lot of consigners that throw in on me, and I ask them to do a lot of weird stuff. We revamp all my sale pens in the last 2 weeks. I'm running around here like with my chicken,
right,
running and on the road and clipping and breeding and everything else. So I sometimes hurt myself back at home, but on the other hand, it's amazing what you can do in 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, this farm went from a working farm, and by the time everybody shows up here on Saturday or Sunday, everything will be spruced up and looking real good.
Right. Well, that's awesome. You've got all those guys, and you've got a whole list of consigners. If you look in this catalog, like a lot of consigners for this thing. That in itself would be a lot to round up.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, and sometimes people think I get a little grouchy. But, I sacrifice a lot throughout the year. And that's all I've asked for my consigners. What have you sacrificed for this sale?
Right.
If you've done something, then you're going to feel good and you're not going to feel guilty about it.
Right.
So, I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, I'm just really fortunate to have quite the crew behind me. And I got to tell you, there's probably 3 boys out there that, and include my brother. My brother's helps a bunch too. But so I got one guy that comes out here. He don't even own a cow, but his name's Austin Rule, and he actually comes out and throws in like a madman every day, or not every day, but most weekends through the winter and that. If I got to be on the road, he kind of takes care of that stuff. And then I got 2 twins, the Bucama boys, Joe and Josh. They kind of throw in hot and heavy too, with the clipping deal when we're out on the road. All of us went to Denver this year and clipped our lot 1 heifer that we sold and had a good old time, but I got a lot more people I need to thank because I got some of the other guys that do all the grunt work behind the scenes. And
right.
But to mention them all, it's a lot. It's quite the list.
Right. But you want to cover that and just thank those guys for all they do.
No doubt.
Yeah, it does. It takes a whole crew, and especially if you're a business owner or 2 or 3 businesses, absolutely takes everybody at home for you to be able to do that and for the other guys to be able to do that as well.
Yep, no doubt.
So, right. So we got this sale on October 2nd, Sunday, October 2nd, but Saturday night, you guys have a big deal going on there at the sale site that you want to invite people to.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. So, in the next 48 hours or 72 hours, we're going to be washing and clipping and everything else, and then booting these things out in the sale lots there. But on Saturday night, we actually Saturday evening, we always had a dinner for everybody to come in, and we'll have some food trucks here, and we'll have some other snacks and drinks and beverages. I invite everybody to come out for that because I usually buy your dinner for you and all that. But you can see all the calves underneath the lights. Take your time because there's a whole bunch of them to go through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you got any questions, you can ask me. And the big thing I did this for when I first started this deal is because I don't want anybody rushed into buying one and not be happy with it.
Right.
Because sometimes you go to the sale and you get overwhelmed. I mean, if you've never been here, I mean, you're going to walk out here and you're going to see 130 head, and the quality is, I mean, it's 100 times better than what it was. I mean, I just really confident. So you could get a little confused on because there's the quality so deep that, well, I like this calf, but which one's better? Which one has better attitude? And
Right.
so that gives me some time to talk to everybody. That's my opinion. You're going to get my honest opinion.
Right. Right.
Because I feel that's the only way to do this deal and the right way to do this. So
Right.
if you're online on CCI, listen for online bidding, listen to me. If I say one's got some spirit to it or got a little bit of attitude or needs a little older showman on it, probably that's the absolute truth.
Right.
I'm not going to try to sell you a man eater and then say, oh well to you. I'm just trying to get a heads up on that. So, but
right.
Try to listen for that stuff. But yeah, Saturday night is a good time. We used to have a live band come in all the time, but then that kind of took away from everybody concentrating on what it is. So, but we'll have some music playing. We'll have some games around here, and we'll sit around and chat cows all night long. So,
right.
Feel free to come. We'll probably be out here until midnight or so, chatting cows and everything. So
right, and along those lines, I haven't read all the footnotes or anything in the catalog because there's a whole lot of them to go through. But and I've noticed in there some of them that you say needs an older showman or needs a more experienced showman. So I think that's great.
Yeah, and there's some of those in there on those steers that play with fire with this clubby deal. I mean, you're on the verge of he'll be a great one or he's going to be a train wreck, and I've tried to put that in there a little bit on a couple of them that I'm a little worried about on structure, but those are the ones that need to be fed a little slower and not really hammered down so much. So kind of read through that stuff, and then, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me or even text me. If it gets kind of a little crazy here during sale weekend with everybody wanting to chat, but if you text me something, even if you're here at the sale site, I'll try to get back with you for sure. So
right, yeah, and they can get a hold of you, of course, by phone. You've got your Facebook page, and is the only one? Is it just your personal Facebook page?
No, I actually have one underneath Kastel Show Cattle too.
Oh, okay.
I actually have one underneath the Slaughterhouse too, but
okay.
Kastel Show Cattle and my personal Facebook page. Those are the two deals, and
okay.
You can email us at kastelshowcow@yahoo. I mean, that's a older website, but that's when we started this whole deal. So
right,
or
on Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat's good. I mean, I'm all night. I'm up running all night long. So I mean, yeah, feel free to snap me and ask any questions that way too. So that has really helped a bunch, especially with the younger generation. I'm out snapping calves in the middle of the night, and I'm getting texts from kids that probably should be in bed, getting ready to go for school and everything. But anyways, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But that's how we got together was through Snapchat. We are Facebook friends, but yeah, we got together through Snapchat. So yeah, a good way. Do you know your handle? Is that your handle on Snapchat?
I'm not sure, but I mean, I know the thing is JFK Butcher Boy.
Okay. Find him on Snapchat and he'll snap you right back.
Right. Yeah,
so
usually.
I guess I hate to put that out there, but you snap me back pretty quickly. So I appreciate that. Yep. So
that's another thing I am. I'm a Snapchat junkie.
Yeah, I'm not a junkie by any means. I get on there every once in a while, but Facebook's my thing, I guess. So
yeah.
So we can get information through that. Also, you're on CCI Live. That's going to be there through the sale, so you can bid and watch the sale on CCI Live. Anywhere else we can find information through this if they want to follow down kind of and look through some things as we kind of go through a few of these cattle and things.
Well, I do have my catalog online there on my Facebook page there, but I got that, and then so yeah, that's pretty much where it's at. I guess I don't know if Ryder, Prime Time, he's
Mm-hmm.
got catalog posted on there or not. I guess I didn't even check on there,
Okay.
but yeah, and if you message me, text me my phone number or whatever, I can send you the catalog right to your phone too, and
Right.
yeah, we can check cows that way too.
Right.
It's kind of getting a little late in the time frame. We did send out some catalogs there. I made that road trip to go to Nebraska State Fair and then jumped up in the Dakotas. So catalog came out a little later than I would like it to. But
Mm-hmm.
this catalog is quite the chore to put this thing together.
I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine because you do the pictures for it as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, these real pictures. Yeah, some of them are real good and some of them are just average at best, but cattle are probably better than what the pictures are in the book, for no doubt. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited. I think it's one of the deepest sets I've had for the years.
That's great, and all the success you've had in the past. Why it shouldn't let up at all this year.
I sure wouldn't think so. I mean, I've been blessed with some of the best homes around too, and they keep on coming back and trusting what I do. And I've been very fortunate. And, you find a good home and they keep coming back and they make my job a lot easier and make me look pretty darn good. There's no doubt about it.
Right. Right. In this sale, you've got some heifers, you've got some steers, you got some bulls, bred cows, donor cows, embryos. Pretty much got it all in this sale.
Yeah, pretty much. It's packed full. Maybe packed for too much, but I mean, there's going to be some bargains, and then there's going to be some that maybe go for more than what they really are worth. But I mean, we'll let you figure that out. But or, the buyers. But
Right.
yeah, some of the heifers. I could probably start a whole nother cow herd and probably be farther ahead if I just sold all the cows I got and keep a bunch of these heifers too.
Right.
Because a lot of the heifers are ours, the donors that I have are laying around here. So.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Um,
Ready to get into some of these and talk some of these?
oh yeah, no doubt.
Okay, sure. Let's start up front here. We've got the heifers up front, and why don't you just kind of talk about a few of these and group them together however you want to do it.
Okay. Well, I'm starting the sale off with one that well, there's a whole bunch of them I'm really partial to. So if you listen to the sale, you're going to hear me babble on and talk about how I love this one and love that one, but there's a whole bunch of them I love.
Right.
But lot one kind of puts it all together. It's the upcoming, Kearney man. If you follow me a little bit there, there's a bull that I just thought had a lot of good. I had a Kearney man steer last year that was really, really good that ended up winning a fair in Nebraska for the Jensen family. And I just feel that Kearney man bull that, Ward Eckloff raised there, he's elite. Here I am, son. And anyways, we flushed that legacy donor. We sold a set of eggs, 3 eggs, to some of the family, the Cooper family down there in Kentucky. Anyways, they got 3 for 3 to stick, and this heifer was in their board sale or bid sale there this spring, and I just had to have her. I mean, I absolutely love this one in so many ways. So that's the only reason I'm selling only half of her. I try to give everybody the opportunity to buy some of the best I got and best I have, and this one right here has a really, really bright future. Saying that, she has a maternal brother, our Irish whiskey, that we'll be promoting. He is an absolute stud, and he's chromed up like no other. But anyways, we're planning on making a road trip with him to OKC here this winter. But
Awesome.
so saying that heifer's just really good, balance complete. She's feminine enough, but she's got enough punch to her. She's super sound, chromed up, tons of belly. Just kind of how I love to make one. Plus, she's got a great mom behind her and a grandma. I mean, that dash cow, she's done a lot of good stuff here. Some people might have remembered I had a lot one a few years ago called Just Peachy, and she was a elite market heifer like no other too.
Mm-hmm. Right. Wow. These two cows are stout. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the two behind her, man. They. Whew.
Oh yeah, stout, but still got extension and just functional, and they melt good. I just think there's a bunch. I mean, I won't hide no secret. I mean, when we called her Bluegrass Babe because she came out of Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
But another deal is I just can see Jack of Hearts working all day long with this one. My Mindbender Bull working so good with her. My Champ Bull working good on her. I mean, just there's so many options. And then I think you can even actually go into the main deal with her, the Shorthorn deal with her. She just kind of do a lot of good things.
Right, right. We like those kind.
And I get into lot 2. I mean, there's no secret about. I have a donor around here that's a blue roan, and pretty much anybody that's been to the sale, we call her paparazzi. But she has done so much on steer wise and heifer deal. But this heifer here on lot 2, she's a TH clean female. I have my Jack of Hearts bull, which is, I mean, he's writing his own book right now, I think, and you're going to see much. But this one right here, she could show in the female deal end of it, or even probably how you fed her or how you clipped her. You know, you could probably run her decent enough in the market heifer. Some of the guys that are picking these market heifers, they maybe don't want them as thick as maybe what I like, but each is their own. But anyways, that one's pretty neat. Blue roan neck. I mean, really, really cool deal.
Yeah, she is.
That one should throw a lot of killer down the road and bright future. Lot 3 is absolutely, I mean, talk about a blue roan babe. I mean, that thing is unique in so many ways. She's pedigree too. She's a maternal maid daughter. Tons of rib, tons of shape. Her brother did a bunch of winning for the Himberg family. We've sold some other top selling steers over. There's another, there's a good as it gets heifer that some other families doing well with. There was a one oak that sold in our sale last year and was a champion market heifer numerous times for the Jensen family in Nebraska. That one I love a lot. I mean, but I'm a sucker for a blue roan too.
I was just going to say that I'm a sucker for a blue roan. I actually, right in front of my desk that I'm sitting at, have a blue roan hide on the floor of a blue roan steer we showed years and years, and well, when I was in 4-H, so it's been a few years ago.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, we've always wanted another really loud, cool blue roan.
Oh yeah, that one right there can do a lot. And I could see Here I Am, our Kearney man, working really, really good on that one. And then we'll just jabber a little bit. Like lot 4 is another deal of, so she's from Brandywine, but that's how I got to be really good friends with the Cooper family, and because I kind of went down there and their kids were just starting out and they wanted a market heifer, and it was on one of my online sales, and I said, well, I was planning on keeping her, but I think she's better off than the show ring. Well, anyways, that Queenie, she ended up winning champion market heifer at the Kentucky State Fair. And anyways, they ended up flushing her to my Champ Bull, you know, just trusting what I think would work. And well, anyways, lot 4, there she is. I mean, strawberry wine, and she's a big baby. I mean, absolutely quiet, get with the killer look and chromed up. And so down the road, I mean, I could see Shorthorn stuff working on that one, and a lot of good, you know, that's just a really good heifer, and really, really good people to bring her up here. I mean, so.
Is she a cross, or will she go?
Yeah, she would actually have key paper. She may have low percentage Shorthorn Plus papers on her.
Okay.
Being our King of Men and that Vortex deal, so.
Okay.
But, yeah, her mom's a blue roan too. One looked kind of like lot 2, but. And then 5 is actually a full sib too. A couple years ago, we sold a heifer here called Betty Boots. Went down to Oklahoma and showed for the Kastel family and did some winning down there for sure. Is 5 better than her? I mean, I like her. She's all black. You know, the other one had some white boots on her, but this female, I think you can go both ways. You can show her, even though she's already Here I Am. She goes back to I-80, and then that Atlanta cow is a whole nother donor cow that kind of was right after Rachel. I kind of needed another donor, and she's actually a trumper of a 2-time Red Angus champion. So kind of unique, weird pedigree, and but I mean, it definitely clicks. So I mean, so there's 5 heifers that are standouts, but that says nothing. I mean, there is so many good females in here. 7 and 8 are full sibs. That's an embryo deal. I have another market heifer deal that did a bunch of winning for the Bukema, Lindsay Bukema. She showed her bunch. I don't think she ever got beat, really. And we flushed her to champ, and those 2 hairy girls are out there. I mean, 7's already done some winning, so I mean, my number 9's are my golden ticket, so that's our yellow jacket son. But like I said, there's a whole bunch of heifers in here that I can get excited for, and I can see a real bright future. I mean, just come out and see them, and you'll be impressed. I mean, there's a mind bender. That lot 13 is actually a mind bender out of a coal black impact. And so I mean, so yeah, I'm excited about that. I mean, there's a lot more heifers than maybe I've had in a while, but I think the quality is deep from start to finish, no doubt.
And looking through the catalog here and knowing what you've said so far, there should be heifers for all realms. If you want some with a little more maybe production oriented, there's some of those in here as well. And as you said, there's some of those that could go either market heifer or heifer way. So they could look through that and pretty much it's all in here.
Yeah, whatever you would like. And I mean, but realistically, I mean, 99% of these heifers will go on and make good cows. I mean, I think that I've tried to be so picky because I'm looking down the road, because I don't want any junior to go down the road or whatever family ends up buying one of these things, that they can take it home and make some money and make good livestock, because good livestock, it helps everybody. So
Right. Well, I think that's great, and I'm going to guess that when they buy a heifer, they can talk to you about what you would breed them to.
oh yeah, definitely. I always get excited, and I usually try to give whoever buys something, because I've already thought of some matings down the road that will definitely click with them, but I'm maybe a little too impatient to wait 2 years to to get them here. So that's probably why they're selling them. Not that the quality isn't good enough to keep, but I'm getting to the point that I'm running enough cows that I try to be really, really selective with what I do here. So
Right. And as they go through that catalog too, also any color you want, any shape, any about design of any color.
oh yeah, every shape and kind and form.
Right. The steers, they go back here, and I like it in the front of your catalog how you have what page each thing starts on. I think that's pretty cool. Table of contents up there. So if you flip back to page 27, that's where you're going to start to steer into this thing.
Yep. And then the steer deal, this is probably one of the deepest sets I've put together in quite a while. I usually have a really stand out here, one there, and we've won a lot of county fairs, but the home makes the champions. I mean,
Right.
I just try to get them there and give them the opportunity to do it. But I mean, yeah, so we start with lot 60, and this has probably been one of my favorites from the get-go since he has been born. But I'm partial to him, so that Blondie cow is actually a Troubadour, out of my Rachel cow, and Kelso girl showed her and did a bunch of winning in Oklahoma, and she had a Red Angus heifer the first year, and I just thought Champ would work on her, and this would have been one of the first ones out of him. And I mean, butterscotch, brockle face, super shaggy, super quiet. That calf will win a county fair or somewhere if he gets in a good home.
Mm-hmm.
And, so then I bought some pregnancies from Pratt's out there in Colorado, and what really, really good people those are. But I got these back, and I ended up going 5 for 5 with steers. And I don't know which one's the best one, but out of the 4 or 5 that I got from them, those are really, really good. And I obviously have some favorites, but I think those are really balanced and complete. And instead of taking pictures of them, because I don't think the pictures did the justice for them, we put the donor cow in there to say, hey,
Okay.
this girl's done a well a job. I think Henny had that steer that did some winning, and she's had numerous champions. I mean, that cow's done a good job. And our Bear Mountain, which is a Here I Am son of Wade's, and I'm really, really happy with them. And we actually have a 65 would be a Here I Am out of that same cow.
Okay.
As you can see, the 65 picture, I mean, he's so tame, we actually called him Radar, because part of his ear got frostbitted off, and so anyways, that's the lower part of his ear, not at the end of his ear, but lower part of his ear. And so anyways, we kind of nickname these things as they're born. Saying that, then obviously Orrin Wolf sent me up an absolute ground pounder. Here I am out of that whiskey cow that had the champion steer at Kentucky State Fair.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this one's just as good, and I sure hope he gets in a good home too.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you say, flipping through here, we got plenty of colors and shapes and forms. And lot 70, he's a full sib to my bull called Chick Magnet, but this one's coal black. So some guys that didn't really want a blue roan, here's your opportunity to buy one that's super shaggy and stout and big butted. Got a lot of good to him. Oh, and I got another pregnancy there I got from Houston's there. I like that Monopoly deal, and so I've had some good safe and sounds and won some county fairs. And so anyways, I bought that pregnancy. That's a good steer. He's just really quiet. That one will win a county fair too if he gets in a good home.
Which lot are we talking about?
That'd be 79.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want everybody.
I just put the picture of his mom in there because he's black and really the picture doesn't do him any justice.
Mm-hmm.
Couple shorty deals, another Chick Magnet, that blue roan down there. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. Someone wants just a meat and potatoes kind of steer and really quiet. And from Muir family, they've bought some heifers. That's out of a heifer that they bought from me. Lot 87, but he's a smoke. He's super quiet. So that Synergy is actually an Angus bull that guy, Dan Vasson, I put some eggs in for him. He says to me, "Oh, that's a Cavanese bull." So I started using him, and boy, he was right. I use a bunch of hitting that bull. That's sleep tight at night, no problems.
Good deal.
But yeah, like I said, just flipping through here, and then we have a full sib to Huff and Puff, and that would be lot 97. So that's a perfection. He's a little younger steer, but that boy will run with the shorty pluses pretty darn tough too. But yeah, like I said, just flipping through here, there's a lot of darn good steers, and which one's the best, I don't know. I got a maternal sib to the steer that Borson's won at MLE with. That'd be 106. Mighty Mouse 2.0. I think Matt and them had that, no guts, no glory deal, that steer. That did some winning up there. So he'd be a brother. Yep, he actually came out of Rife Steel down in the spring there, but that steer's a little bit bigger, so that's the reason that he'll work great for MLE, but maybe not. Some of those are, later county fairs there. So
right.
But yeah, like I said, just a lot of darn good steers. Here's a couple you probably might not want to miss. 114. That's my higher power bull, so he's in Gowie Trust Son. That's a really really nice steer. I like that steer a bunch. So. And then we go back to some that I said that got some attitude. 113 is extremely good. He's been one of my favorite steers, but he does have an attitude.
Okay.
The Huda Man is coming out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
But he's chromed up. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him. But I'm saying that when I'm washing calves in here and we're working calves, I mean, I get a lot of help, so I get a lot of different help.
Right.
And so I think if you get that steer in a home that he meets, the same person every day at the feed bunk or, at the gate, I think that steer would have no problem.
Right.
But anyways, and then, I love what Jack of Hearts is doing, and, that 115 steer, that goes back to another heifer we sold here years ago. But yeah, Jack of Hearts back on made to order, and that Izzy is actually a purebred shorty, so he'll have Shorthorn Plus papers.
Cool. So
yeah, I'm super stoked on the steer deal. Super deep. Another good lot come from the Brandywine down there. That Jack of Hearts steer. He was really young when I seen him, but I was like, oh man, that if you sure would send him up, I'd definitely sell him. So.
And that's the 119 you're talking about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a good steer too.
Yeah, and we've got a bull lot in here as well.
Yep, and so this guy was kind of he was bred to be a heifer, but he had a low enough birth weight, and that Towers family, Aaron and his wife, they've brought me an Gowie Trust steer a couple years ago, and they brought a Here I Am steer last year. Well, anyways, we were debating about what to do with his bull. I'm like, well, bull-wise, I mean, pedigree-wise, he's good. He's got a low birth weight. Izzy Greener, yeah. So the date of birth is off on him. He's actually a March, so he's the end of March actually. So he was in there, but he's growing really good. And I just thought, well, he probably has a useful place in the Showhorn breed because he's a purebred shorty.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I really didn't have a bull. I mean, that I was going to sell, and so we've sold some bulls the last few years, and they've done well, and people have been happy. And so I thought that was a perfect place to put him in there.
Right.
So.
Good deal. Good deal. And as you're going through the catalog, you got a page of your bulls here, so make sure you stop and check that out as well.
Yep. Yeah, and we'll have some semen on those guys, and probably if you buy a Keen over the sale weekend, we'll probably break some deals there because it's just yeah, if you want to bring your semen tanks, we'll have some of that on hand too. So
Cool. That'll be good. Then we got some bred cows here starting at the lot 125.
yeah, but so the majority of these cows are all have been on the halter, and so that's kind of a bonus deal. The
Mm-hmm.
only lot that isn't halter broke would be 128.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody else has been on a halter. Some of them has been shown, and a lot of there's only what is there 6 or so, but most of them have had calves that are averaged over $3,000, and
Oh, wow.
kind of same deal. Some people has got caught on to the cow addiction, so they
Mm-hmm.
got to move some cows to keep some heifers or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's the majority of the case on all these. So there's nothing really wrong with any of these cows. It's just people trying to, make some room to keep some other ones, and so and we always want to try to sell the best we can in these deals. So
Right.
cow wise, I just ran out of time. I didn't have enough time to go around and picture everything of these. So the majority of them are black ones. The one goes back to Robin, B126. Yeah, so she's actually like a smoke colored one, and then the 129 is actually red. She looks just like a red Angus kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And then surprisingly, the one our paparazzi, that's unfinished business, our paparazzi, but she came out all black.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of very few. I mean, we got a black Jack of Hearts, our paparazzi. Once in a blue moon, you'll get one like that. But
Mm-hmm.
saying that, she's young and deal. But the Maddox farm there, Stephen and his wife, they got a couple young kids, so they're just trying to pay some bills and do that. So
Right. And there's a picture of the paparazzi cow if you haven't seen it.
yep, there she is.
Wow, she's cool.
Yep, probably
Stout.
even more impressive
Jeez.
in person too, because she gets so shaggy during the winter. I got to buzz her head in, or
Oh,
she
my gosh.
she gets so much shag she can't even walk around, and she don't know where she's going.
Yeah. She's got that Scotch Highland head on
Yeah,
her hair on her head.
yep, no doubt.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now, are you selling these donor cows?
No, so it's actually flushes. We're selling
Okay.
2 flushes.
Okay.
Yep. And so lot 131, we've never really gotten a donor picture of that cow. But she was shown, in Denver and done well. We've had a couple steers out of her. The one oak that went out to Nebraska, she did some winning, and then this lot 3. I mean, and I had to beg and borrow and plead to talk to Labberty, and I mean Jeremy and those guys have been part of this whole deal since I started this deal way back. Oh geez, 19 years ago. He's
Mm-hmm.
one of the grunt horses. He was up here pounding post in for me over the weekend, and real good friend that's always there if you need something. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good to have those kind of people. But anyways, we're selling that flush. That cow flushes extremely well, and we'll do the flushing here at the house here at my house, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll do that for you. And I'm gonna announce this on the block, but if you use any of my bulls, I'm gonna supply the semen for it,
Oh,
no
awesome.
cost, no cost.
That's great.
So, but anyways, so there'll be that flush will be a conventional flush. The next cow is a Caramel Delight. So me and Richland Farms, we used to own that cow together. And we flushed her and made some good ones. And along the way, well, anyways, we thought it was time to move her down the road and let somebody else jump in because we both of us had plenty of other donors to do it. I'm not saying she is a unique beast. Going back to her dam, Sacred Ground's mom. which is really unique. I think that semen overnight brings like over $400 or close to $400 a
Oh,
straw. And
wow.
she's a troubadour. She's clean. She's easy to deal with. But anyways, and then this spring, she actually had a butterscotch champ heifer calf out of her, so that we know that works. And God We Trust works good on her, and along that lines. But hey, same thing with her. If anybody wants to use any of my bulls on that flush, those boys that bought her and everything else, I'll supply the semen on her, and you know, go from there. But yeah, those boys are doing a good job out there in Idaho or in Iowa, and they bought a good one there, no doubt. It's got a lot of life on left on that one.
Cool. Good. What another great service.
Yep, yep.
Right. And to round this thing out a little bit, we've got a couple embryo packages.
Yep, yep. Yeah, and some really, really unique ones, I think. I mean, so Destiny there's a Here I Am daughter Arbor in the sale. So anyways, I sold her as a heifer calf to the Buchla family, and they did a bunch of winning with her and had a lot of other nice ones Arbor. So when we flushed her, when I flushed her here at the farm, they wanted to flush her and then get her bred back, so that way she was on target. So anyways, we just used a mixed flush. I bred her with maternal maid and good as it gets. So those calves will have to be tested to see what they are. But saying that, Brandywine bought some embryos out of that deal a couple years ago, and got a bull calf, and actually that bull calf, high selling bull calf in their sale this spring, and he was a meat wagon. I believe he ended up going to New Mexico, so he's going to do some good down there. And then, of course, the stud horse, probably the one that's, I sell a lot of eggs out of and has, a lot of following is my paparazzi donor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of opening up the gates. These will be all IVF eggs because we took her over, and Dr. James is doing the IVF, so these will be Bovatech eggs, and I've had really good luck with them sticking and being sticky. And so, I mean, so we're going to open that up. Some new mating there would be AML chiller, which would be an older shorty deal. I bought a cow way back, and I wish I would have had her from Stu Manchester, and full sib to Sonny, and I got to be good friends with him. And as I kind of do my bull thing like how he did with the shorthorn bulls he did. Stand behind them, prove that they work. And so anyways, that chiller bull, I have some heifers in the replacement pen out of him, and I just think that those will be absolutely cool and kind of different, a different twist on paparazzi. Obviously, Jag of Hearts will be sibs the lot 2, heifer. Mindbender would be full sibs the lot 28 heifer and to the boss. And actually, I got another family I've been going. We're putting embryos in the Fleetwood family over there. I think is Riverbend Farms. They actually have an incredible beast over there. Now he's TH and PHA dirty, but he is an absolute blue roam beast, Arbor, in our Mindbender. So that'd be full sibs of that. And then the redneck choice would be a full sib to the West Virginia steer that was a reserve champion, a colored steer down at West Virginia Roundup.
Wow.
So that's kind of a unique deal on those 2 eggs. And let's see here. And then the other one, the only daughter out of Fat Tina, I named her She's on Fire, and she is on fire. She was champion market heifer for Page Hill over at Monroe, and had a really good show career, and she's flushing really good. But I think these will be very unique. There'll be Mindbenders back on her, and heifers or steers. I think you're going to be really impressed. I know I got pregnancies coming out of this mating in the spring, so I'm super stoked on seeing what she can do. Hopefully she follows in her mom's footsteps.
Right.
So that kind of concludes all the embryos, but probably I wanted to go out with a bang with the biggest, I don't want to say the best offering, but the most unique and probably the hardest to get peeled out of my hands.
Hanging on to them Tinas, aren't you?
Yeah, so a Fat Tina, Here I Am pregnancy. So we put a bunch of those in for Marches. I don't even know what day it was, but anyways, so we have a bunch of them to choose from. Have I chose which recip cow you're going to get? I don't. I really haven't up to up until right now yet. It's kind of hard to peel because obviously I put these things in some of my best cows.
Right.
I mean, Tracy sold that one to Bonhams last year, that steer that was really, really tough. And that Auten family from Monroe showed another Here I Am that did really well. And I believe that Tracy has, out there I sent a Here I Am Arfatina to Tracy Carezza, and I think that he's got the best one that she's had so far, no doubt. So, I mean, that one is extremely good.
Good deal.
So anyways, I'm going to let one loose, and the only reason I'm letting one loose is because we got a whole pile of them coming next year. So
cool.
So anyways, that kind of concludes everything.
Share the wealth a little bit, yeah. And don't forget to turn over to the very back of that catalog. Something that I saw that I really, really appreciate, the back of this catalog. Work hard, be kind, stay focused, dream big, think positive, don't complain, stay humble, be happy, and always hustle.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep. Good words to live your life by, right there.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think most people ought to just tear the back of that catalog off and put it up in their youngster's room if that is something that they have, or put it in the barn. If you go through a door every day, why put it right there? I just think it's awesome.
Yep. I appreciate that. I mean, I wanted something unique and give some drive, to the kids, man, because I don't have any kids, so I mean, when I always get up on the block, and I say this every year, so however many times I've had this live auction here, is once you buy a calf here, your kids become my kids.
Right.
So I do get a lot of calls sometimes throughout the year that I get to time or sometimes be a parent for a little bit, So,
right.
But yeah, these words right here. If you live your life like that, you'll be perfectly fine, and you'll be in the right direction.
Right. Man, I think that's cool. I may print that off, and I'm going to put it up in my classroom, I think.
Good. Yep.
I think that's cool. Well, again, Josh, man, 130 live lots here on Sunday, October 2nd. They're at the farm. Kastel Show Cattle and Friends sale at Hudson, Michigan. And got to go down the dirt road to get there, but it's going to be worth the drive.
Yep, no doubt.
Absolutely. Josh, anything else we need to talk about before we wrap this thing up?
I can't really think of anything, but I guess if anybody has any questions, feel free to give me a buzz. Call me, whatever, and I'll try to get back with you as fast as I can. So
sure. Kastel Show Cattle on Facebook, Joshua Kastel on Facebook as well, and find those or on Snapchat as well. So, man, Josh, I appreciate you spending the time with us and getting this thing put together, and want to wish you a lot of luck there on Sunday with the sale, man.
Well, I appreciate you doing this with me, and hopefully this reaches out and this kind of gives everybody a little bit of rundown on what we're trying to do up here in Michigan.
Right, absolutely. Going to be cold up there on Sunday?
I don't really know, honestly. Hopefully if it doesn't rain, I'll be fine, because let me tell you, I've had some monsoon sales over the years, and I'd rather it not rain, but I think it's probably pushing 70. I don't think it's going to be too cold, But yeah, I bring a coat though, because the wind whips up here. I'm a little bit of open area here, so.
Okay, sounds great, Josh. Appreciate it very much.
Yep, thank you very much.
All right, we want to thank you for listening to another edition of Before the Bid podcast.